One of the best pieces of advice I ever received concerning my boys in baseball was from a Dominican guy, very large Dominican guy who also was a scout, a talent scout for the Tampa Bay Rays. His job was to scout talent from the Dominican Republic. I hired him and he did a very, very great job of training my boys. After about the third lesson, he came to me after the lesson. I'm not sure if I maybe said something through the fence to my boys while he was doing his job, which is certainly a no-no. But he came up to me and he said, he was very nice. He said, "Hey, Mr. Wright, let me talk to you." He said, "I can't do the Dominican accent, so you can only imagine." He said, "Mr. Wright," he said, "I want to let you know that this thing that we're doing right here, it's a team effort. You and me have to be a team. We have to operate as a team or they will never play at the next level." And I was like, "Okay, all right, well, tell me more." He was like, "Okay, on this team," he was like, "it is your job to make certain that this game is always fun to them. Your job is to always make it fun." He said, "My job is to make them work on the field, to make them stronger, to make them faster, to make them throw harder, to make them hit further. So that's my job. Your job is to always make it fun." He said, "As long as we stick to those roles," he said, "your boys will play at the next level." And I was sitting here thinking about it today and it reminded me of a Bible verse. And I was like, what is the Bible verse? I can't remember that. And I looked it up. And the Bible verse is Colossians 3:21. And in this section of Colossians is basically instructions for a Christian household. So you can go and look at all the verses, but this one in particular, Colossians 3:21 says, fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. So you have to ask yourself, what does embittered mean? It just means provoke. Do not provoke your children. And that made me think even further. You know, as fathers, especially Christian fathers, it should be every father, but especially Christian fathers. Like the one thing we can do in a household is to be steady. So my wife and my kids always know what they're going to get. One way that we do that is obviously to follow Christ. We want to be more Christ-like. And by doing that, we will be steady. The last thing I want to do is to make my kids hold a grudge against me because I'm always the guy that's different, or I was provoked them when I came home from work because I'm tired and all I want to do is sit down, or I'm throwing the baseball with my kids and they shank a ball like 4 times in a row. And I get selfish and it's like, I'm so tired. I came out here on my own time to make you better. So you can place so many scenarios in front of that. So all I'm saying is that Dominican guy gave me that great advice. He said, "Hey, you always make it fun. I will make them work." That led me to Colossians 3:21, right? Don't embitter your children. So don't provoke them, especially on the baseball field, especially in a game. So many times I go to these games and look, I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those dads too. You go to these games and you're yelling through the fence because your kid has a different release point every time that they're on the mound. They're not finishing down and you're yelling through the fence and like making them even more nervous. And what you're doing without even realizing is you are embittering your child because all they hear is your voice. But at home, that is our time to make it fun. So do the work at home to make it fun. Don't embitter them while they're on the field trying to play this game. It's already stressful to them. One more time. Colossians 3:21. Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged. And the last thing you want is for your children to be discouraged about their father, because it is our job to raise these boys into men. And we want them to be men. We should want them to be men like us, better than us. It's also our job as fathers to show our daughters what type of men they need to be courting when they're old enough. So what type of men will continue that legacy? And if they are discouraged with us, they are not going to want to find a man like us. So there you have it. So if you're watching this, the big Dominican guy out of Tampa Bay, really appreciate your advice. That was almost 10 years ago, and we still talk about you all the time. Take care.